welcome back. I'm super excited to dive into this video today. I have been dabbling in more trend and keyword focused reselling tactics, and I wanted to share with you guys. I'm about 2 weeks in experimenting with this type of sourcing and reselling. And I'm happy to say that last week I sold an additional $300 plus in sales just by sourcing keyword and trend specific items instead of focusing on brand. So that's what I want to dive into today. I'm super excited. We're going to go over a handful of sales across Depop, eBay, and Poshmark. I'll pop the photos up right here next to me so we can look at it together, and I'll read off the SEO title so that you guys can get a feel for what keywords helped me make a little extra money last week. So let's go ahead and dive right in. For starters, let's go ahead and look at Depop. I am brand new to Depop. I have not been selling on there. I have no history on Depop. I literally have 0 followers and I'm following 0. So my Depop account is pretty much non-existent. However, that's okay. I'm learning how to grow it, specifically with trend-based sales and keyword-based sales. So I only have 2 Depop sales for us to look at, but let's go ahead and take a peek. So the first Depop sale, oh, and I will say, all of these items sold within 48 to 72 hours. So they sold extremely quickly upon listing. So I'm not too concerned about not having that many sales on Depop yet. I think they will start rolling in the more I learn how to source more for trends and keywords instead of trying to find like high-end brands all the time. So our first item, we'll pop it up right here. This is a Theory silk polka dot button-up top. It has some ruffle detail on the front. I sold this item on Depop. As you can see right here, my take home from that was $15. I think I sold it for like 9 or 17 something. Happy with the sale. I think this one sold same day. And let me go ahead and read you the SEO title of this item. Give me 2 seconds. I should have been a little more prepared with all of this info for you guys. So, selling this one on Depop, my title was Theory Silk Polka Dot Top, Women's Large, Parisian Romantic Coquette French Girl. So this is the first time I've ever used the keywords Parisian and French girl. And I do think using those 2 keywords coupled with the fact that it's polka dot and silk really helped this sell pretty much instantly upon listing. So super thrilled with that sell. Now let's go on to my next Depop sell, which was a fun one. It's this vintage Y2K late 90s Gap knee length denim skirt. So stunning, just all around a great piece. This one sold on Depop as well. And this is what my SEO title was. Vintage Gap Denim Skirt 2 Lag and Look Fisherman Coastal Minimalist Americana Y2K. Now for this one, it also sold extremely fast, and this is the first time that I have used the keyword Fisherman and Americana. So I am going to keep my eyes out on more items that I could potentially source that fall into this Fisherman Americana aesthetic. Americana, I'm not sure. I am not super savvy on keywords and trends yet, like the core aesthetics. I'm learning. I'm also signed up for Resellers Edge that Kaylee and Bethany, Bethany with Trash Pandas Thrift, and Kaylee, I think her name's Kaylee Elaine across most of her platforms. But, anyways, they started this community where they are teaching other resellers how to actually build a business that's based on what's trending and less based on, getting your hands on those highly sought after name brands. So I've been in their class. I have been learning about these trends and these aesthetics. I'm unsure if Americana will keep trending through fall and winter, but from the sounds of it, based off of like some of their education material, Fisherman, I think, will keep trending through fall and winter, especially Fisherman style sweaters. Um, if you can locate those. So just a little segue. I am learning a lot of this from their reselling group, and so far it has been such a fun ride and very enjoyable. Okay, so now let's move on. Let's take a peek at my Poshmark sales from last week, and I'm specifically looking at just the sales where I intentionally used keywords for a style-based trend aesthetic sell. So I am not taking into consideration any sell that I had that was based off of brand or anything like that. These are purely the items that I am basically trialing out to see what I can actually sell with keywords. So for starters, let's take a peek at this little sweater vest right here. This is Julia Armory. Her name is relatively well known in like the quiet luxury space. However, not all pieces actually thrive in reselling world. So for this one, I use a little bit of a mix of keywords. But this was also a piece that I was freshly attempting keywords with, and I only used a couple. So my SEO title was Julia Armory knit vest, black, sleeveless sweater, size extra small, coastal minimalist. So freshly trying to use keywords. As you can tell, I was still like kind of nervous to put too many trend-based keywords in this listing. However, it still sold very quickly and it sold really well. Looking at this, I could have maybe potentially even used Fisherman, possibly because of like the high neck on the sweater. One thing I did not want to use with this was quiet luxury, chic, classic. I'm really trying to hone in on more niche, like the time is now, these trends are hot keywords, which is why I chose coastal. I almost went with like coastal grandma, but this one sold really fast with those keywords. So happy about that one. Now let's move on and see what I had next. This next one was really fun. So this is a gorgeous abstract tunic. New to me brand, Noen is the brand. Again, resell is hit or miss. It doesn't have a great resell sell-through rate. So I really relied on some keywords for this one. So my SEO title was Noen Women's Abstract Printed Textured Tunic, size 16, lag and look, Danish art to wear. For this one, I know lag and look is sort of, you know, 2025, very last year. It still has a hot following. However, so many people are using lag and look now that I think sometimes the listings are just getting lost in the mix of everyone else's lag and look listings. So for this one specifically, the Danish art to wear, I think is really what allowed it to be seen as far as like SEO goes. A little bit better than maybe some other items I've listed as lag and look in the past. And this one sold really fast on Poshmark. Fun sell, loved sourcing that. The colors were just beautiful. Okay, let's look at this next Poshmark sale. I am obsessed with this item. This is a vintage Oscar de la Renta tulle, like ruched, strapless swimsuit. It honestly is giving off like so many different vibes, but for this one specifically, I think I could have held out and gotten more. However, I pretty much got an instant offer for 35 and I believe I had it listed for 48. So I went ahead and took it. Upon further inspection though, this one still had the panty liner. It was new without tags and I didn't realize. So if I was aware of that, I probably would have held on to it a little bit longer and tried to sell it for potentially 65. I've sold some vintage Oscar de la Renta pieces in the past that have gone for 75 and up, depending on the piece. I've never sold a swimsuit though, so I was like, let me just see. And anyways, I'm very happy with the sale. It sold fast. I just had no idea that it was new without tags. So let's take a peek at the SEO title that I used for this one. I put vintage Oscar de la Renta tulle bow one piece swimsuit bodysuit Coquette size 14. Because this was a swimsuit, I didn't want to lean in to like the ballet core, even though it had the tulle bow. I did a little research and it looks like some people also use pieces like this, specifically his pieces, as bodysuits as well as swim. So I believe the fact that I put that it was tulle with a bow, that probably still brought in some ballet core girlies without using the term ballet core. And I also put bodysuit Coquette, helped this one get some quick eyes on it. Again, beautiful piece. Absolutely love it. Part of me wishes I would have held on to it a little longer, but fast sell for $35. We're not going to turn our nose up at it. And again, these are sales for me just like trying new things and seeing what I can come up with and what I can learn from other people that are already making like major headway in a reselling business based off of trend and keyword. So let's take a peek at my next one. Absolutely love this piece. Oh my gosh. This is a wooden ships sweater, which we all know wooden ships just kind of carries itself. They're very well known. They do resell well. However, I've had wooden ships pieces in the past that upon listing, they just kind of drag. They eventually sell. They may not sell for top dollar, but you know, they eventually sell and they always sell. So I'm never left with a wooden ships piece. However, wooden ships plus trend-based keywords really knocked this one out of the park and it sold so fast. And for top dollar as well. So for my SEO title, I put the title Wooden Ships, American Flag Sweater, Navy Extra Small, American Coastal Prep, Coastal Grandma. So we kind of just hit it out of the park with this mix of keywords. And as you can tell, the sweater clearly embodies all of those vibes. It moved super fast. Very, very happy with that sell. Now let's move into eBay. I do have a few eBay sales that I want to look at with you guys. Um, let's take a peek at, I have another Julia Armory piece. Again, this is one where I was like nervously attempting to utilize more keywords and more unique keywords than I'm used to using. So this one is Julia Armory. It did sell on eBay. It's like a specific style of shirt from them. However, again, with this brand, it does have a following, but not like these items can get kind of lost in the algorithm mix, just because they don't have like 100% sell through rate, but they're still sought after, if that makes sense. So I think this brand with the mix of keywords really just like got it bumping and got it sold pretty quickly. So for this one, Julia Armory, this is my SEO title. Julia Armory, the Antibus shirt, white, size small, minimalist, modern, classic. The reason I went with minimalist, modern, and classic for this one and not that other Julia Armory sweater that I showed you earlier was because with this one, it has a very structured fit to it, very crisp collar. It does give the vibe of being more minimalist, being much more classic and a little more modern as far as like the silhouette goes. So with the mix of those, I think that helped this one sell a little sooner than I expected, which again, we love that. Now let's take a peek at this gorgeous, gorgeous dress. This was one of my favorite style-based sells from eBay last week. This is an Ann Taylor silk midi dress. It is vintage. It's so stunning. The little photo right here doesn't do it justice. But again, sold super fast. Sold for good money. I think I had it listed for 45 and I got a 35 offer pretty quickly. For all of these style-based pieces, I actually am trying to see how the market responds. I'm not trying to price these items at super high dollar. I very well could have probably gotten more for this because it's 100% silk and it's vintage and it just fits the look that everybody's wanting right now. Until I feel more confident in reselling based off of keywords and trends, I'm trying to be a little more modest in my pricing approach and taking offers as they come to kind of like gather my own data to help me price better moving forward. So for this one, this is my SEO title, Ann Taylor Silk Y2K Fairy Dress size 8, asymmetrical Parisian Paisley Coquette. Now, all things that we love going on here. I do believe the fact that I put fairy and paisley in allowed it to get some traction. I also feel that the Parisian keyword in here might have helped tie it into the fact that it was 100% silk. So again, fast sell. I am new to this. Please don't copy and paste me. Go join the Resellers Edge community if you really want to learn about keywords and trends. I'm just letting you know how I've been titling these, and they've been selling pretty quickly. So take all this with a grain of salt and check out Kaylee and Bethany. Okay, my next one, I thought this was the cutest little piece. This is from a brand called Rue Sophie. It sort of like quiet luxury minimalist. It has somewhat of a following. However, it looks like it's kind of like just all over the place in on the reselling platforms. I didn't feel like I was going to have a fast sell with this based off of it being this brand. I did think I might have a better chance if I utilized some keywords and trends that I've been learning about. So this is what I did for this one as far as my title goes. Rue Sophie, Pannier, A-line, pleated, cotton midi skirt, medium, coastal, French girl, Euro. That little bit at the end, I believe, absolutely put this on the map to be found very quickly, and it sold very quickly. For this item, I do believe I could have gotten closer to 50. Again, I'm just seeing how it feels to sell items that are based on trend and keyword instead of trying to get top dollar for like high name brands. I live in a very small rural town. I have to drive an hour to get to the Goodwill bins and to get to any like halfway decent thrift stores, and I'm a mom of five, so I don't get to do that often. So I'm just trying to learn how to maximize what I have at my disposal. All of these items that I listed, I did find locally in my very small town, thrift stores. And I was able to find them for $4 or less. So these are items that people don't typically look for in my area. I don't have a lot of resellers in my area either. But most of these items ended up getting put on the dollar day because they didn't sell, or they were tagged 50% off because they didn't sell. So that's one thing that I'm kind of learning being in my area. I don't have a lot of competition for keyword based and style based items. I feel that I can source them easily, especially as I learn more about what to look for, um, get some better knowledge about the aesthetics and all of that good stuff. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited to share this with y'all because again, this is something new that I've literally just started trying out about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks, started sourcing, and all of this stuff sold extremely fast upon listing. So I'm excited to report back hopefully next week or in the next couple of weeks. Um, I might do some thrift hauls on here about what I picked up for trend and for keyword selling, and yeah, see how y'all like that. But anyways, this was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you learned anything. Let me know in the comments what keywords you're using this summer to move your items, and I'll check in with you at the next one.